Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, October 26, 2020. We are again in the final hour of the trading day. The final hour of the trading day is my preferred time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions come in. They take control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithm who control it during the daytime. I consider them smart money. They're dealing with the most money. Very smart people, best technology, best information, and in the long run, I feel like there is an edge in following what they do. So thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. It's always nice to see everyone. I'm very grateful that we have such a nice group and such great contributions. I really appreciate that, and I really look forward to seeing you. And I hope by spending your time here that it's helping you with your trading and your investing. Okay, well, kind of an ugly day today, to say the least. The Dow is down 738.61 points, down 2.6%. The NASDAQ is down 215 points, down 1.86. And the S&P is down 72.75, down 2.1%. So yes, very ugly. I think we were very close to almost 1,000 points down. I didn't see 1,000, but I know we got pretty close. And I didn't even have a dream about that. Remember the last time I had a dream we were down 1,000 points, and there we went. But no such luck on this one, because I think the second time I would have tried to take advantage of it. But all right, listen, here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, as ugly as that's going to be. Talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have some day trades today that turned out pretty well, so profitable. So that's good. Very happy for that. After that, we're going to go through the watch list and take a look at your positions and see how they are doing. I don't see a lot of green over there, but you know, what do you expect on a day when the Dow is down 750 points? You know, there's always something to be learned, whether you're making money or losing money. And on a day like today, you know, maybe what's going to come to mind is putting a little time and effort into thinking how many positions I have, how much a core account heat do I have, because these things can happen, and they do, as we are witnessing right here today. After we go through the watch list, we are going to talk a little bit about trader psychology. Very important on a day like today. A day like today, you know, your emotions get revved up. I try to stay just right in that perfect balanced zone so that I can trade correctly. I'm not too up, I'm not too down, I'm making good decisions. But when you have a day like today, this is what amplifies emotions, and this is what makes people not follow their plan. They make emotional decisions instead of process decisions. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone through the results of Kamal Scanner. I have 3 requirements whenever I look to enter a trade. First requirement, confluence, combination of signals, ideally on multiple time frames. Requirement number 2, good risk to reward ratio, at least 2 to 1. If I'm going to risk $100 on a trade, I want to be able to make 200 or more to the upside. And like I just mentioned, taking some time, analyzing how many positions you have, how much total account heat or what percentage your account is at risk, your position size in relationships to the volatility and correlation of positions. Very important. So I'm going to go down through the watch list. We're going to go down through each candidate one by one. If it's good, I'll put it over in the good category. If it's not good, I'll get rid of it. And then at the end of the day, I'll go through it with the potential candidates with a fine-tooth comb, look for those 3 requirements. And if there's something good at the end of the day, I will go ahead and buy it. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at before the close of the market, just go ahead, put them in the chat, in the live chat. Make sure you put an asterisk or an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive. And then lastly, if you have any new additions or subtractions to your positions up on the board. If you could please wait till after the market closes, that way I'm done teaching, done trading, pressure's off, and then we'll spend as much time as we need getting those updated. Okay? All right, so that's the plan. Hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, well, let's see who's here. Natasha Grobler, hello. Hey, I got your messages and I replied back. No, that was not me with a number from WhatsApp. I do not have a WhatsApp number, so please be careful. That is not me that you're speaking to if they're representing that it's me. Hi, Greg. Which options do I choose? Available stocks, futures, and Forex, data plans, end of day, daily bar, and larger end of day, intraday, minute bars, live streaming, real-time streaming. Are you talking about what I use, which is Trade Navigator? Is that what you're asking? And if you are, the answer would be, well, it depends on what you plan to trade. If you don't plan on trading futures or Forex, well, certainly don't pick that. If you're planning on trading stocks intraday and you want intraday access, then you probably want to pick that last one, the end of day, intraday, minute bars, and larger real-time streaming. That would be my suggestion if you want to trade stocks. If you want to trade futures, then of course you'd have to pick that other option. But thanks for coming, Natasha. Appreciate that. Dan says, hi, Greg and everyone. Hey, Dan, good to see you. Hi, Johan. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're having a good day there in Hong Kong. Steve says, hello, everyone. My put options did well. Yes, they did. Luckily, we had a little something that did well today, right, Steve? Steve had put options on the SPY. I have VIX calls, and we're going to go over that. But good to see you, Steve. Always an honor and a privilege to have you here, sir. Really is. I always get excited to see you, and I know everyone else is. So thank you so much for coming. Frank says, hi, Greg and group. Hey, Frank, good to see you, bud. Miko says, hi, Greg and all. Hi, Miko, good to see you. Steve says, VIX finally broke the 200 SMA. Oh, did it? Let's take a look. There it is. And it did it with style. Did it with style. David is here. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Are you still down in Moab? Kamal says, hey, Greg and gang. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Nice chatting with you today. Talal, hey, Gregory and all, and hi, all. Hello, Talal. Look forward to our Skype call and hope you're doing well, sir. And yep, look forward to that. All right, so Frank has a poem for us. Let me paste this in the old pasty place. All right, let's see what Frank has to say. Risk comes before reward. Anything else we can't afford. Though profits we seek, it takes capital to reap. So protect it and returns will be oh so sweet. Oh man, that's so good. Risk comes before reward. Anything else we can't afford. Though profits we seek, it takes capital to reap. So protect it and returns will be oh so sweet. Yeah, so true. I mean, you have to look at risk before you look at anything, because like Frank's poem says, it takes capital to be able to do this. And if you lose your capital, well, you can't do it anymore. That's awesome, Frank. Thank you. Glenn, hey, Greg, out of RBA with the move below previous day's low. Okay. All right. If you could remind me, Glenn, at the end of the day then, Burns says, my SPY puts are up 54% from entry. That's fantastic. 100% fantastic. Jesse is here. Ranger Trader. Hello, everyone. Hello, Greg and everyone. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. By the way, everybody, Ranger_Trader over on Twitter. That's Jesse's channel. He has a great one. So go over there and support him. But good seeing you, Jess. Dan says, Steve, clap, clap. Very good. ATXNFO. Hi, all new guy here. Option seller. Saw you on Eric Small's interview. Look forward to learning. Oh, great. Thank you. That was nice of Eric to have me on and to do that interview. And so you're an option seller. Very good. Very good. I do quite a bit of that as well. David says, back in Denver with several inches of snow. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, Dave. It is cold here. I'm going to show you real quick. Look at this getup that I have. 2 beanies, my Amish hat, my keffiyeh, my 3 layers of coats, and water. And that's what I'll be wearing today when I go hiking as well. That's my mountain pirate / Amish combo look. So, but no snow, thankfully. Okay. Steve says, thanks, Dan. Gary says, thank goodness for the SPY, Steve. My account are actually up today. Wow, that is fantastic. Very nice. That is very impressive on a day like today. That is for sure. All right, well, let's get to it. Disney, not so hot tamale. I bought Disney back here at 127.54. I bought it with the 1050 EMA crossover. This is the back-tested approach, good back-tested approach to buying Disney with the 1050 crossover. Of course, it does not work all the time. Looks like Steve is in this trade with me as well with the 1050 crossover. Looks very likely that the cross under is going to happen. Right now it's 125.86 to 125.86. So very likely I will be getting out of Disney, taking my lumps on this. But you know, when the Dow's down almost 1,000 points, your long position is not going to do so well. So that's unfortunate. This orange line down here, this is my maximum emergency loss. Had this reached this point today, or if it does before the end of the market closes, I will get out. I will hit my maximum allowed loss on any trade. And this is just a good time. If you know, when you're position sizing, you better be okay with the maximum allowed loss. It should not just be some intangible number and like, yeah, I think I'd be okay with that loss. If you are really okay with the loss, then there's nothing to worry about, right? If it goes down there, you get out, that's it, it's done. It's a small loss in relationship to your capital, but the mistake that I see students make is they pick too large of a maximum emergency loss, because in reality, they never think it's going to get there, right? In my experience, take whatever you think you'd be okay with the maximum loss and divide it by 2. If you say, yeah, I'm okay with $1,000 loss, well, maybe you are 1. What about if you get 2 or 3 or 4 in a row, right? So good rule of thumb for me is whatever you think is a good maximum allowed loss, cut that in half, and that's probably the right number. SPY. All right, I did buy the SPY. Unfortunately, on Friday at the close with the overnight SPY trade, this is from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest since 1993. 2 different approaches they tested. First approach, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell it at the close, and do this every day since 1993. If you did this every day since 1993, you'd have actually returned a negative 13.9% return. However, the opposite is the one that I use. Buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk or the over weekend risk, sell it first thing the next morning. This approach, done every day since 1993, returned a positive 634.2% return. So big difference with the positive 634.2 compared to a negative 13.9. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. It may never work again in the future. It certainly didn't work over the weekend. But that goes for any trading approach. Just because you have good backtested results doesn't mean you're going to have them in the future. But on the other hand, if I'm going to allocate money towards a trade, it's going to be something that does have a good track record. Blue line, buy the close, sell the next morning. Over time, all it has done has gone up. Orange line, buy the morning, sell the same day close. All it has done is gone down. The blue line method, the one that I use, it's no picnic. Trust me. There's a lot of swings, a lot of streaks. I mean, look at this. This was 7 years up, and then 3 years down, and then 7 years up, and like 2 years down. But overall, it has done well. So if you're considering using this approach, use a very small position size. I think a good starter position size would be 5% of your capital. So if you have a $50,000 trading account, 5% of that is $2,500. Buy $2,500 of SPY at the close. Hopefully sell it for $2,500 plus more the next morning. And the other thought I have on this is, if you do decide that you are going to use this approach, do it every day. Don't do it some days and not other days, because it's very hard. It's very hard to pin it down. So, okay, hope that helps. All right, so I did buy the SPY on Friday at 345.78, sold it this morning at 342.14. So lost about $3.50 overnight. I got to tell you, this morning, I for a half a second, I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to sell this at the morning. Maybe it's going to bounce. And then I said, what am I thinking? You must have not slept well enough, Greg. But I did. I sold it here, thankfully. But I was a little disappointed in myself that even crossed my mind. So, your mind's always playing tricks with you, giving you little ideas. Just stick with your plan. Obviously, I'm very glad I did, because I sold it at 342.14, and now it's 337.77. Okay, speaking of SPY, Steve and Gary did buy puts on the SPY at 344, expiring October 30th. It is now 337.77. As Steve just mentioned there, those SPY puts are up 54%. And the reason that Gary and Steve bought them was because of the 1030 EMA crossover that happened back here on the VIX. This is a good back-tested approach. If the 10 is above the 30, volatility is likely to increase, and it did in a huge big way today, and that's why the SPY and that was the signal for them to buy the SPY puts. Hope that makes sense. Okay, one more SPY story. I did buy SPY back here. This is a different approach. I used the 1050 crossover. I bought it at 333.82. Had a nice, beautiful run up. Of course, I phase out on the way up. I got out of half of my position here when we had a close below the previous day's low. So had a nice move up, nice phase outs, locked, I started here, phased out, so I didn't have all the shares left. And then I sold half of whatever the shares that I did have, because it closed below the previous day's low. I did get some profit targets in here in this chop, and then now big down day today. My plan on this is, if it gets back down to my break-even point, 333.82, I will go ahead and get out of that last quarter position that I have. But it will still be a profitable trade because of the phase outs, because of getting out of half here. But this is a crossover trade. This is a trend trade. I want to give this a little bit more room to breathe, and regardless of what happens, I will still have a profitable trade on it. So I hope that makes sense. TQQ. Ooh. All right. Kamal bought TQQ at 138.646. Gary and I bought TQQQ yesterday or Friday at 139.11. It is down 5.76% today. one thing I want to point out here, when you're using the 2 ATR value, it doesn't matter if you're trading double leverage, triple leverage, quadruple leverage, or just single leverage. That's the nice thing about using the 2 ATR. Because the volatility in the bar moves were so big, it had me buy a very, very small amount of shares. So the red line down here is my emergency stop. If it gets down here by the end of the day, well, I'm just going to have to go ahead and get out. But I'm not going to lose double or triple what I normally would, even though this is a triple leveraged ETF, because I just take my maximum loss, divide it by the 2 ATR, and that figures it all out for me. So, there's a lot of questions out there. Hey, if you buy a triple, do you buy 2/3 less shares? Or if you buy double leverage, do you buy half the shares? If you're using a straight position size, like I'm going to buy, or if you're using a straight percentage of your capital, say you're buying 10% of something, then yes, because you're buying 10% of a double leverage or a triple leverage, that's like buying 20 or 30%. So yes, then you would want to reduce that to maybe 5% or 3% with the double leverage. But if you're using the ATR value, it figures it all out for you, and it's just that same amount. Excuse me. I will be getting out of TQQQ today because certainly we're going to have a close below the washout bar, which was right here. So I'll definitely be getting out of that for a loss. VIX. Well, I did have something green on here today. I did buy VIX right back here when the price was about 22.44. Same reason Steve bought the puts, but instead of expressing the trade and buying SPY puts, I bought VIX calls. It is up 7.36% today. I think it's up about 6.55% from where I bought it. So really glad that I had these today. I did sell out of half of the position today because it was such a big move up. And I decided to just take half off. Whenever I'm in a trade and I have a big move up, I always take something off, right? I always take something off. It's just too hard if it goes all the way back down to say, why didn't I take any off? So I did take off here. And like Gary was saying, this does not nullify the losses today, but it certainly helps. The Qs. I had one more Q trend trade that I bought back here at 277.80 with the 520 cross, moved up nicely, took some profits, came down. We closed below both the 5 and the 20. I exited half of the position as a safety measure because this bar did not look good. But then we had this beautiful run up, which I was able to take advantage of. Scale out. I sold half of the position that I had left here. As it came down, it bounced a lot. Up, down, and I was able to hit more and more profit targets. Today, I did get out of the Qs because you see how it came back down to my initial entry point. So I got out of those during the day when that happened. So even though we're back to the entry point, it was still a nice trade because of the way that I managed the trade with the scale outs, getting out of half, so forth, so on. And it looks like quad is in at 284.62. Frank got in at 1013.20. Why do I have that up there? And Johan. So anyway, this trade definitely looks broken to me. All right, real quick, I did have some trades on Apple and on gold. All right, my first trade on Apple happened here with this rejection of the negative third ATR channel, bounced right near the 30 RSI and a V1. I bought it at 114.21, moved sideways. Then we had a nice big up bar that, just like on the VIX, whenever I get a nice big up bar, I do take off some of the profits. I took off half at 114.56. Then we rejected the 50-day moving, the 50 RSI at 114.48. And then we came back down to my entry where I got out break even, but I did take a half and a half. So I got in at 114.21, got out of half at 114.48, got out of another half of a half at 114.56. And then when it came back down to my entry point here, I got out at break even. But again, that was a profitable trade. Then Kamal and I took this trade. I liked it. The sidewards motion, nice V1 bullish engulfing bar. Bought here at 113.96. It held for a couple bars, boom, and then went down on us. So I got in at 113.96, got out at 113.72 for a small loss there. But the first trade had more winners than the losses. So that's good. And then lastly on gold, I did buy gold here with this higher low V1. I bought it intrabar at 178.16. Moved up, moved up, moved up. Had a nice big thrust up bar. I got out of half at 178.85. Then I got a close below the previous day's low at 178.75. And then I got out of with a close below the previous day's low at 178.72. So it got in 178.61, out at, where's my line? 178.72, 178.75, and 178.85. So pretty good. 3 out of 4 today on the day trade. So that was definitely helpful. Okay. ATX NFO says, do you just put in a market order for the open next day? Yes, I do. I put in a market on close order to buy it at the end of the day, so it's already in there. And then as soon as I have it after the market's closed, I just put in a market order to sell the next morning, so I don't have to be up for it. Yep. Dan says, someone smash the like button. Our teacher is working hard for us. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. Steve says, I exited both my long positions on this big gap down. Facebook, negative minus 117 from entry, and Disney 3.3 from entry. Okay, yep, I got those over there. We're going to look at those. Steve says, so far so good, Gary. I really like the hedge today for my long positions. I was also net positive. Gary says, Steve, that is fantastic. Greg says, Greg, nice day for you as well on your VIX calls. Yep, pretty sweet on the VIX today, for sure. Steve says, I will be resetting my SPY put option today to a 50 delta. So it's in the money. So it is definitely more than a 50 delta at this point. So I assume that's why Steve is doing that. All right, let's take a look. Quad bought CarMax here at 91.50. False breakout to the downside, V1, down 2.63% today. Did bounce off the 200-day, but it looks like it's closing below halfway of that washout bar. So that's a bummer. Intel, wow, this has been quite the odyssey on Intel. Gary did sell puts on Intel November 20th, the 45.40 spreads. It's at 46.70, so it still is above the strike price. I don't know if these went negative for you or not, but we had that big earnings gap down. Which is Johan. Johan had this beautiful double bottom bullish divergence V2 here at 1332. This rocketed up. I know he took profits on the way up. That's what he told me, which is good. It did reject the 70 on Friday, is down 5.88%, but I'm sure Johan phased out of this and was a profitable trade. RBA. Mark has RBA at 60.61. Moved beautifully up, and now it's just moved unbeautifully down, down 2.75% today, and it is below the entry point. Walmart, Brian bought Walmart at 140.69. It is 141.95, so it is down on the day, but up on the trade. AQN, Mark bought it at 15.29. It is 15.49, so it is down on the day, but up on the trade. TME, wow, this is up today. Holy smokes. This was a nice false breakout to the downside V1 that Johan bought at 14.30. It is 14.95, up 0.2%. Beautiful move up there. Nice going, Johan. Google down 3.45% today. Gary sold November 20 puts at $1,200. So as long as the price stays above $1,200 by November 20th, Gary will be able to keep all the premium, although we do have earnings coming up. Actually, earnings are today. Earnings are today at the close of the market for Google, I'm fairly sure. Frank, okay. LVGO, bought here, 132.50, moved up, sold half, kept half, rallied up nicely, but these last 2 weeks have been down, down, down. It is down on the day, but he's still up on the trade. DKNG, Yas, Evan, Kamal bought at 41. Yas and Evan bought a little higher. This is down 6.55% today. So this is down on the day, down on the trade. Facebook. Kamal bought Facebook at 269. It is 275.82. It is down 3.15% today, but he is still up on the trade. Steve bought at 278.87 with the 1050 SMA cross, and he just mentioned there that he got out for a 1.17% loss. So I'll be taking Steve off of that one too. Yeah, just huge down day today. Match, Kamal and Johan got in at 111.10. Kamal scaled out 2/3, and then he got almost the high of the day on the last third. Very nice, Kamal, while it was up. So beautiful trading there. Not sure what Johan's doing with it, but you can update me on that. UPro, which is double leverage S&P, Evan bought at 60.59. It is now 57.4. It's down 6.12% today because of the double leveraged. And then lastly, DHT, Johan bought DHT at $5.15. It is $4.97, down 1.39% today. So down on the day, down on the trade. So again, I will be exiting Disney with the 1050 cross under and take my lumps on that. SPY, I will be buying SPY as always at the close, selling it first thing the next morning. TQQQ, getting out of that, having to take my lumps. VIX, I am keeping with a nice move up here today. Qs, I exited this trade when I got back to my break even, and that is about it. So I am down today, not too much. The VIX helped, and the day trades helped. So I'm grateful for that. Okay, let's take a look real quick over here. By the way, this is earnings, and this is from Earnings Whisper, really good, but I do show Alphabet here after the close. Big week. Tomorrow after the close, Microsoft, AMD. On Wednesday, Visa, Boeing, GE. Thursday is going to be a big day. Amazon, Apple, Nokia. Friday, we have some oils. So yeah, Apple earnings today at the close. All right, so we're going to get to the rest of your comments. We're going to get to the watch list, or the end of day candidates here today, and go through those with a fine-tooth comb. Try to find the best one at the end of the day that meets all my criteria. Before we do, I just want to quickly change gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology. Like I said, today is a very important day of trader psychology because a big rock got thrown in the water. People got punched in the face today, which brings out their reptilian part of their brain, right, from their amygdala, and that's when people make mistakes. So we have to be very careful. There's some really good Facebook and Twitter channels out there. One of my very favorite ones is from Julian Komar at blog Julian Komar on Twitter. He has a great Twitter channel. If you ever get a chance, go over there, subscribe. I love to read his posts. Let's see what he has to say. What means getting rich slow? Not to get rich by one trade, but by 1,000. The chance to find one trade which makes you rich is small, but the chance of getting rich after 1,000 trades have accumulated smaller profits is high. And I always say this, don't get caught up in any one trade. You're going to have winning streaks. You're going to have losing streaks. Don't bet the farm. Don't bet your lifestyle on one trade. Just every trade you have is going to be a winner or a loser, and it's just one of the next 1,000 trades. Just like any casino, they lose hands playing blackjack. They lose rolls playing craps and rolling the ball roulette. They have losing streaks also. Do they care? No, because they know in the long run they have the advantage. And if you have an edge with your trading system, you will have the advantage as well. So, anything can happen on any one trade, and you can go through a string of losers. But the important part here, Don't get too involved in any one trade. It's just one of the next 1,000 trades. So thank you, Julian Komar. Appreciate that. Really like this. One more time. What means getting rich slow? Not to get rich by one trade, but by 1,000. The chance to find one trade which makes you rich is small, but the chance of getting rich after thousands of trades have accumulated smaller profits is high. So every trade is just one of the next 1,000 trade, one of the next 10,000 trades. Don't burn too many calories on one trade, get too emotionally up or down about one trade. You're going to make the money over time with many, many trades. ATX NFO Google earnings got moved to Thursday. Oh, did they? Okay, good to know. Thank you for that. All right, let's look at AMC. Boy, this is a wild one, isn't it? Let's see, where did we get today at the low? We bounced right about at the 30 RSI. Did we test that previous low? Not quite. Look, this is a very risky area. It's a very risky stock. One thing we do have is we have a low with deep RSI rating, and here we came almost as low, and the RSI reading is not as deep. So we have a bullish RSI divergence. We have a bullish MACD divergence because here we're at the 6.5 ATR. Here we're almost just as low. We're only at the 4. It's down 6%. We've rejected the third ATR channel again. Me personally, I don't think I would be interested in taking this trade. And if you do, you have the potential for a good risk to reward ratio. But this stock scares me, honestly. So, up to you. But if it were me and I got in here, I would get out if we had a close below the 30 RSI. I know that for sure. Johnson, hey, how you doing? LMND had a small V1, but no sideways motion in the value zone. LMND. Lemonade? Yeah, the thing here, yes, we do have a V1 Johnson, but it's not in the value zone. Here's the top green, here's the bottom green. This is the value zone. We are now below the value zone. I would wait for this to move back up into the value zone, sell off a couple days, and then grab a higher low V1 or V2, not this lower low V1 or V2. It's up today, which is definitely positive, but yes, you're right, it is a V1. Kamal says, I'm going to sell TQQQ November 6 calls for 11.20. Oh, you're selling calls. Oh, interesting. Zach is here. Hey, good to see you, Zach. Hey, 1 second. Looks like the UPS guy's here. I'm going to have to open something. Hold on. Apologize. Give me 30 seconds. Okay, thanks for holding there with me. So Kamal is going to sell November 6 calls for 11.20. So he's selling at the money calls. He's getting $11.20 per contract. Kamal says selling TQQQ calls against my lossy position in TQQQ. Gotcha. Lossy. Never heard that. I like that. Okay. Da, 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 da. All right. Just real quick again, Disney, I am selling today because the 1050 cross under. SPY, buying again the overnight SPY trade. Getting out of TQQQ with a loss. VIX, I am holding. I have already sold half. Thankfully, that's up 8.35% today. The Qs, I am out of this trend trade here. It ended up being positive, which I'm grateful for. But again, it's a good example of why phasing out and taking off profits when you get bad price action is important. Otherwise, if I would have just bought and held this, I'd be right back down to even instead of nice loss. So this is a good example of why I like to take profits as the market gives me some. And that's that. All right. TLT. Okay, well, big move up today on bonds, which you could expect. We have the 200-day moving average right above us. I would not be interested in buying here. People that bought this dip down here. If we get any sort of weakness, the people that were lucky enough to buy here will sell. That will drive the price back down. Just like with, I can't remember now what we looked at, looking for that higher low V1, but I would like to see this come into the value zone, have a bit of a sell-off, let off a little bit of steam, and then try to catch a higher low V1 or V2 back up. So I don't see anything here on TLT. CBOE, under 30, over 30, false breakout to the downside. Okay. It's holding the -2 ATR channel here, which is decent. That's why it popped up on the scanner, but I just don't think there's enough there. Cisco, also very scary here. What looks like we have a test of the previous low. We did go under 30, over 30, and we tested the -3rd ATR channel. No double bottom with bullish divergence, but double bottom. So we tested under this previous low. We bounced right at the -3rd ATR channel. Remember, 92% of prices tend to bounce here, or at the very worst, go sideways here. This huge big bar on this huge volume just scares me. You may have a bounce, but of course, if we get a bounce, the bounce will probably be right about halfway of this washout bar before it goes down. So I am going to pass on Cisco, but technically, yes, under 30, over 30, rejection of the -3rd ATR channel. But on a volatile day like today, this concerns me. GSX, looks like earlier in the day it was above 30. It went under 30, over 30, but now it's below. So that one does not qualify for me. JCOM. You remember that big trade we had on JCOM way back when? Can't remember when that happened, but we had a great trade on that thing. I can't remember. Oh, it was here. It was this nice false breakout to the downside, V1 bullish engulfing bar when MACD was positive, and zoop, 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 zoop. And then I got out before earnings, and then this is what happened after earnings, if I remember correctly. Do I see anything here on this? No, I really don't. It's a false breakout to the downside and a bounce, but this looks like kind of a choppy, sloppy mess. Chewy. Oh no, this is Camping World. No, I don't see anything here. I mean, it's holding this -2 ATR channel, which is positive, but that is about it. American Tower Corporation. I looked at this earlier. This is a false breakout to the downside from this low over here. So here's the low. You can see today we went under it, back over it. Had it triggered a V2 or some V1, it may have been interesting, but I'm not surprised. See the big down bar we had here? Halfway is right where this bar got rejected and went back down. So I don't see anything there either. WAB. Is a double bottom with a divergence. Here's the lows. See how deep these red bars are? Then we rally to green. Now we come back. We tested that low. See how the red bars here are not very deep. So this is what Dr. Alexander Elder would call a double bottom with the bullish divergence. But even though you have a double bottom with the bullish divergence, you still need a trigger. Let's see, did this go under 30? No, it didn't. So no real trigger there. TMUS, you know, the move down here is a little bit more orderly, right? Compared to Cisco, right? Which I like better. It rejected the 100-day moving average, but that's about it. Had it gone under 30, over 30, at the same time it was under the 100, over the 100, that would be a good confluence, but I don't see anything here. Lockheed Martin, of course, there was some news about tariffs from China or something like that having to do with Taiwan. This is probably what's affecting Lockheed Martin as well as everything else. Yeah, I don't really see anything here that makes me feel confident about this. We rejected these lows, that's one thing, but that is about it. W, we are finding support at the 100-day moving average, but I really don't see anything there yet that looks tradable or like a good decent setup to me. Dexcom doing very well today. Looks like it has earnings tomorrow from my chart. Has a 520 crossover. I don't know how that back tests, but I'm not going to buy it into earnings. ANAB, wow, holy smokes, look at this thing go, up 7.81% today. Just, you know, way too extended. We're getting up near that 6th ATR channel, which is very hard to get above the 6th ATR channel, as you can see over here. Tried, cooled off a little bit, came back up, but the risk to reward doesn't make any sense to me on this trade. But glad somebody had a green day there. That's good. Las Vegas Sands, well, you know, certainly I wouldn't buy this. You know, to me, this looks like a short because you have a V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 goes above day 1, also goes above the 200 and the 3rd ATR channel. And today we are going to confirm a V2. So we have a V2 to the downside, rejection of the 3rd ATR channel, rejection of the 200-day moving average. These are a lot of sell signals here. However, it's at a 56.71. Very likely it's going to catch some support right in this area from the 50 RSI and some of these moving averages. So I am not going to short that. I don't think it gives a good risk to reward ratio. QDEL. Oh, that's kind of nice. Nice pull back into the value zone one day. The V1 there with the false breakout to the downside in the value zone, that was the place to buy it. I'm not going to chase it up here. Cisco, we already talked about Cisco and GSX. So I honestly do not see anything here today that I like. And it looks like Frank took off, I forgot again, Frank, took off half of your Apple at 115.60. Very nice. Very, very nice. Glad to hear that, Frank, because it is down today. This is setting up for a possible V2 tomorrow. Here we are into the value zone. We washed out Friday's low. Today, if we closed above day 1's close, I would probably buy that. But I don't know if we're going to or not. But very likely we could tomorrow. Who knows? So I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Disney here. All right. I am going to go ahead and get rid of TQQQ and take my lumps on that one. And that's it. I already got rid of Q's intraday. I don't have Apple. I don't have gold. So all that's going to leave me with is SPY and the VIX. And I have SPY on the 1050 crossover, and then of course I'm buying that again today at the end of the day. All right, sorry, I managed a couple accounts, so I have to do this in a few accounts here, and then I will be done. And I'm done. All right, so we have about 8 minutes. Gary says, Kamal, I like that, makes sense, helps offset the loss. Steve says, I bought SPY. Okay, so I'll update at the end. I bought SPY 339 strike weekly put options, 1030 expiration for $425 each, rolling my position. Okay, I will get those updated. So Steve is buying in the money SPY puts 339 expiring October 30th. He's paying $425 each. So he's rolling out of the ones that he has today. Gary says, Kamal, I sold the 131 November 6 calls for $1,120 per contract. Wow. On TQQQ. Wow, look at VIX go. Up 9.3%. Like I said, I did sell half of my position here. If we keep going up and we reject the 50, I may take another half up here as well. But man, am I thankful to have that trade today, I'll tell you what. So the Dow's down a mere 750 points, NASDAQ's down a mere 231, and the S&P is down 76. And I want to give a shout out there to Johnson, because he, we were talking about Disney, and he goes, hey, what about the 50-day? It rejected the 50-day. And here, actually Friday, it closed above the 50. So it didn't quite reject even the day before. But see, that's a good thing. I mean, if you're coming from under the 50, a lot of times you can get that 50 RSI or that 50-day moving average rejected. So good call on that. And that was Johnson, right? Yeah, that was Johnson Samuel. Yep. So I'm not going to buy anything here today, except for my Qs. I'm sorry, for my SPY. Steve says, I exited my 344 strike price puts for a 47.5% profit from entry. That's fantastic, Steve. Unbelievably great, for sure. And again, that was because of the 1030 EMA crossover. And the VIX is very strongly above the 200-day moving average. Very, very strongly. That was a very clean, strong break above. Boy, Apple is exceptionally strong here. Down only 14 cents. Well, 24 cents. And it's having issues with this 200-day moving average here on the 5-minute. But from a relative strength standpoint, to only be down 0.14% is fantastic. Quad says, I am all in cash now. I think that sounds good, Quad. Gary says, I did the same thing and rolled them along with Steve. Okay, 10-4. Apple might go green on the day. That'd be something, wouldn't it? ATXNFO, I sold 15 Delta Strangles on Pfizer and Lilly for earnings tomorrow. Oh, interesting. So he's doing a play on earnings for Pfizer and also for Lilly. Okay, sounds good. Steve says, all I have now is SPY put options. Gotcha. Yep, that's what I thought. Kamal says, nice exit, Steve. Yep. All right, so we have about 2 minutes to go, roughly. Boy, what a day, huh? What a day. Switch a little something around there. A little something around there. Okay, so 10 seconds. Oh no, a minute and 10 seconds. Look at Apple went positive on the day, everybody. Wow. And it's forming a V1. All right, I'm just going to let that one go. But yes, this is a V1 with a rejection of the -1 ATR channel. Okay, about 30 seconds left. Okay, so I'm going to take a look and see where I bought my SPY today. So, oh, there it was right there. So I bought my overnight SPY trade at 339.39. Lots of 3s and 9s in there. Oops. Oh, come on. All right, so 339.39. And that's the overnight SPY trade. All right. So listen, if you have new entries, exits for me, if you could put them in the chat, I'll get them all updated. Just real quick, just want to remind everybody, I do teach private lessons in the evening time via Skype. I really love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I think I teach a really good course. The course is 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours for a total of 15 hours. I have been trading for almost 25 years. I have studied under some great teachers and mentors like Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Carrie Lavorne, Larry Williams. In the course that I take everything that I've learned from these 4 gentlemen and combine it into this course. Deep dip buys, trend trades, mean reversion trades, higher low V1s, V2s, whatever the market is doing, there's a tool to be able to put on a trade depending on what the market's doing in the course that I teach you. So if you are interested, you can reach out to me, send me an email, and say, hey, I'd like to have a Skype call. The Skype call is free. It's not a sales call. I just want to get to know you a little bit better, learn more about your trading, your challenges. It's a good time for you to ask me questions about the course. And then when we're done, I will never ask you if you want to take the course. I'll just say, nice speaking to you. If you'd like to take the course, think about it. You can email me back later and we can set up a time. And then also, if you like today's podcast, I would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help to keep the channel around, build the channel, let YouTube know that there's something valuable here. So, if you did find something helpful today, I really would appreciate it. Okay, let's take a little look-see now. Okay, where was Steve's? Okay, so I'm just going to do this. We're going to change this and put that in there for Steve and Gary. So they bought puts, that's a bearish position, and they rolled the puts they had today, which were nicely in the money. Boy, what a great day to have puts, huh? Okay, so I got that taken care of. Apple and Amazon green. Amazon's green. Amazon did go. Hey, you're right, Dave, and Apple was too. Johan got out of DHT. Good. I mean, not good that it was down, but I'm glad you got out. HA. Okay. Match. Okay, so both of you are out of match because Kamal got out of the other third. And the Qs. All right. And I got out of the Qs today as well. Evan got out of UPro. Yeah, that was ugly. Evan got out of DKNG. Kamal got out of DKNG as well. Out of match. Oh yeah, I already did that one. Added 1/3 Facebook at 216. Okay, and Steve's out. Steve's out of Facebook. All right, so I'm going to put you down for 1/6 then. Okay, on TQQQ. Okay, so Kamal is still in TQQQ, but he also sold November 6th calls at 11:05 to hedge his long position. Okay. Gary, are you out of TQQQ? Oh no, you did about the same thing. Sold November 6th. $131. Calls. And then Kamal, what was the price on your Oh, okay. $11.20. All right. All right, and so Kamal did 131s also. All right. Yep, got that, Kamal. Okay. All right, Steve and I are out of Disney. And Quad is out of Q's as well. And I didn't hear from Frank, so I think Frank is probably still in. I think. Sorry, everybody. It gets a little tough. It gets a little tough having all these different positions here. But I didn't hear from Frank, so I assume that Frank is still in from back on the crossover. So I'll put his name back up. Okay. Gold, nobody's in gold. Although it's possible we could have a crossover coming up soon. And Frank still has Apple. Okay, I think we're good. All right. So I'm having a Skype call with Talal later in about a half hour. So I'm looking forward to that. Always nice to meet everyone in person. So that's going to be 3 o'clock my time, Talal, right? All right, let's see what's going on. Anything after hours? Apple's up 10 cents. SPY's up 22 cents. All right. Well, quite a day, everybody. You're in half position on Apple. Yep. Oh, on Q's. Yeah. Great, great, great poem today, Frank. And Talal says, yes. All right. Well, listen, have a good rest of your day. Please try to go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile, a wave, hello, just a kind gesture, just be a decent human being. If you could also go out and do something nice for an animal today, just show them a little bit of love, give them a little treat, take them on a walk, give them a pat on the head or a little scratch under the chin. They will appreciate that as well. So it is cold outside. After my Skype call with Talal, I'm going to go for a hike, but enjoy the cold, but the nice sunshine. So should be interesting to see whether or not we get some follow through tomorrow or if we get a bounce. Who knows? But that's the magic of the market. We never quite know. All we can do is take an educated guess based upon the technicals, position size correctly based upon volatility, enter the position, know where we're getting out if we're wrong, know where we're getting out, different levels to the upside if we are right, and take the trade. That's all we can do. And again, it's just one of the next 1,000 trades. Nothing should ride on one trade, right? Okay, so that's it. I appreciate you coming, everybody. Have a good rest of your day. Be good, be kind, be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Take care. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.